I study rap battles for a living.
Ladies and gentlegrams, it was the night before GNX in Toronto as the tiny Tupac twin prepared to put the petty petition prom queen padre in a Canadian coffin. But would he really dare to dash around Drake's town holding it down for the West Coast and fry Labrie up like Canadian bacon or French toast? Or would the West goat just choke like strep throat? Or would the crowd just roast Kendrick for even trying to disrespect a lawsuit filing legend? Well, the West Coast Warrior did everything we could have asked to show that the GNX show in Toronto would never be his last laugh. So let's break it all down, but first hit that like and subscribe button with a smash. Now, ladies and gentlegrams, it was the night before the GNX show in Toronto when Labrie did everything he could to distract the public from the fact that King Kung Fu Kenny was coming. Yes, just like the diddler in a freak-off, Kendrick came all over Toronto to turn Labrie's TV off. And as a Canadian, this makes me proud, alright? But first, let's touch on the fact that Labrie did everything in his power to try and distract the public from the fact that Kendrick was coming to smack and kick in Labrie's back.
I study rap battles for a living.
So first, this is hilarious. Aside from the initiatives Drake took to distract the public from the fact that Kendrick was performing in his hometown of Toronto tonight, Drake's fanbase, the OV hosts, the freaky frontlining fandom, had actually organized an event outside of the Rogers Center to gather around and sing Labrie's music like a bunch of cheerleaders. So you can see here, right, this very well orchestrated event. The OV Ho Takeover Show. Show Kendrick whose city this is. Let's remind them who runs the Six. Where is it? Outside the Rogers Center where Kendrick will be performing. When? On June 12th and 13th, the nights he's performing, from 5:30 p.m. to 11 p.m. So they planned on standing outside the stadium as Kendrick was performing all night, blasting Drake music. And it said, pull up with speakers blasting nothing but drizzy, signs showing love for the Six God, your best OV Ho drip, all your dogs, and only good vibes. Let's flood the streets with love for Drake and show the world who runs the Six. There's free OVO hoodies and pizza that was supposed to be given out. It's a shame if they put all this energy into actually streaming Drake's music, Kendrick wouldn't be beating him on the charts. But instead, they want to crowd around the stadium that Kendrick is about to make history in, or did make history in. They planned on doing this, and it failed, and we're going to touch on that shortly. I'm going to have too much fun with this video. So, aside from the Drizzler, you also have the Akademiks, who finally made an appearance at the GNX show in Detroit. And he was planning on making another move coming to Toronto, Drizzler's hometown, to not only gargle on the grams, glazed donuts, but also pop out at another GNX show, the Toronto one. He wanted to see if Kendrick was really like that, if he would really perform Not Like Us on that stage. So he was on stream talking about how he told Drake, yo, you gotta get like Big Ak, eat 1,000 Big Macs, and then show up to Kendrick's concert drunk off a bunch of Henny.
I was set to go to Toronto, but it's actually I even told Drake I was coming to Toronto. I'm like, yo, I'm coming through. Yo, me and Drake talked yesterday. You know, I told that to Drake. I said, Drake, if you like that, I said, you see how Big Ak popped up at the show? You pop up at the show. I'm an instigator. I'm an instigator. I'm an instigator. I'm an instigator.
And hey, at least he admits finally that he's an instigator. If you guys didn't see my last video, Dave Free, when Akademiks went to the GNX show, actually confronted Akademiks saying like, yo, why the hell are you instigating all this crap? Like, is Drake paying you right now? Is this really just content, or are you serious about all the crap you've been saying? Because Akademiks has been stirring some crazy narratives. But the real bombshell that Akademiks dropped here is the fact that Drake told him, and again, this is coming from Akademiks, it could be Cat, but apparently there have been 2 cars parked down the street from Drake's house all week, making sure nothing crazy goes down while Kendrick is in town.
You know what happened? Nah, I don't even want to tell that part. So I told Drake, I said, Drake, you see how I said you got to do your Big Ak. Pop up and show. They ain't your city. Pop up. You know what he told me? He said, yo, Ak, they've had 2 cars on my block since 2 days ago, since they know this is coming here. So somebody say I'm cap. Y'all never believe nothing. I tell y'all the truth. Y'all be like, you're lying. I tell y'all what y'all want to hear. He's telling the truth. Why do y'all even listen to me?
And I mean, you might think that's crazy, right? But it's fully warranted in my opinion. Drake, aside from actually having firearm attacks at his own house throughout this beef, not from the beef, but just right after the beef, the people he rolls around with have also been antagonistic like crazy, right? First, we saw Adin Ross beefing with a bunch of LA guys, taunting them that he was going to come to LA, talking all this crap online, then saying he would sue them if they did anything to him, just inciting violence. We've seen Akademiks incite violence by saying that Drake should do something to Kendrick the same way someone did something to Nipsey when he called them a snitch, because Kendrick called Drake a PDF, inciting all this violence. And then, of course, you have at the top of the OV Ho totem pole Top 5, who has been going absolutely crazy online. We're going to touch on that later in this video. But yeah, it's warranted that, maybe some undercover cops are keeping an eye out on what the hell is going on at the embassy, at the OVO embassy, to make sure Drake does not pull any funny moves while Kendrick is in town. Remember when Drake went to Philadelphia also throughout the back-to-back Meek Mill beef, the Dream Chasers were waiting outside for him there as well. So you can only imagine, with this beef being a lot bigger than that, the stakes were high here. But of course, Toronto showed Kendrick tons of love. We're going to touch on that shortly. But first, it seemed like Drake was trying to keep himself out of trouble and keep himself in the limelight while Kendrick was performing. Because at first, he announced that him and Kai Cenat would actually be doing a live stream at 7 p.m. on the night that Kendrick takes the stage in Toronto. Kai Cenat had himself announced it, saying,
I study rap battles for a living.
First of all, thank you to everyone who shared their video submission for Drake's song Somebody Loves Me. We were blown away by the creativity and thought poured into each submission. We were supposed to go live today, but needed a little extra time to review them. Tomorrow, Drake and I are going to go through some of these submissions with you guys, share some of my favorites and some of the not so good ones, and let y'all know which 20 people are going to get money to bring their music video treatments to life. So basically, the same night Kendrick was bringing his show to Toronto, Drake was getting in his streamer bag, about to link up with Kai Cenat at 7 p.m. to go through music video ideas for Somebody Who Loves Me. And again, Kendrick just turned Drake into a full-on streamer. We've seen him do more live streams this year than actually drop music or do concerts. And of course, it wouldn't be a Kendrick Lamar successful event without the OVO conspiracy courthouse Karens trying to come in with their best theory on Kendrick potentially flopping, right? Trying to say that the GNX tour was not sold out, he was gonna flop in Toronto, everyone would laugh at him, no one would come to his concert. Well, StubHub, the ticket-selling platform, had tweeted out a couple hours before the show saying,
I study rap battles for a living.
Kendrick performs live in Toronto tonight. Ticket demand is spiking on StubHub. Toronto just became one of the top 5 best-selling cities on the GNX tour based on total tickets sold. And the shows have not even started. And they put this funny picture of Kendrick, if you could really look closely, on Drake's album cover views. Now, of course, the OVO commander-in-chief, the courthouse Karen, La Brianna, was going to be busy with Kai Cenat on stream, so he could not make it to the show. But you have to remember, the last time Kendrick Lamar was in Toronto was on the Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers tour, and his number one fan was actually in attendance of that concert.
Drake was spotted at Kendrick Lamar's Toronto tour stop on Friday, August 12th, despite any of their rumored beef. There was video of Drake watching from a skybox at the Scotiabank Arena, and it started making its rounds over the weekend after the Big Steppers tour made its Canadian debut.
I study rap battles for a living.
You also had the Meet the Grams producer, the legend himself, Alchemist, say that he actually might pop up at the Toronto concert. And when I saw this, I was so excited. I thought we were getting Meet the Grams live for the first time ever. Unfortunately, not to spoil nothing, but that did not happen. And the day that the show commenced, La Brianna sat behind the fence and flip-flopped back to his Canadian cave as Kai Cenat announced that they would not be doing the stream in the end that night while Kendrick performed. Kai said, "We need more time with the treatments, the music video treatments for Somebody Who Loves Me, so we are pushing the stream back a few more days. Apologies." But that wasn't the only trick up the OVO sleeve, because he ended up dropping a song tonight at the same time Kendrick was performing. It's a horrible song. He's doing his crappy Toronto accent and he's dissing the West Coast. So we'll get into that shortly. First, we got to take a look at the goofiest glazer of the Gaviline Graham. Top 5, but he should have been named bottom 5. The man who met Drake as a 13 or 16-year-old kid, I forget what age, but he was shirtless at a basketball event Drake was hosting, and Drake gave him the nickname Shirt Off Shawty and took a picture with him, and then they became best friends. Top 5. So Top 5 has been talking crazy since he got out of prison on an attempted unaliving charge. He has been looking for Kendrick Lamar. The first day he popped out from prison, Akademiks was antagonizing the crap out of him. He got on live stream and said, "Yo, Cruddy, me and Drake are about to do a live stream together where we're gonna watch the Not Like Us music video and do our homework on every man's in the music video and take notes. Kendrick thinks he can come to Toronto. Him and Metro Boomin are banned from Toronto, Cruddy. A straight waist suits guy. Gerberts, fam." Drop a like for my Toronto accent. I'm Canadian after all. So yeah, he's been causing a lot of trouble since he got out of jail. He also linked up with Kanye West. Kanye West gifted him Mustache Man NAZI chain. And remember, this is the guy who claims to be Drake's shooter. Drake is Jewish, and he's wearing that chain. But anyways, this guy's an absolute clown. So he's been saying Kendrick can't come to Toronto for his show. There's no way he'll be able to come in without checking in with Top 5 himself. So Top 5 attempted to pull up to the Nobu Hotel, which I guess he assumed Kendrick was staying at. It's a luxury hotel within Toronto, and he tried to get in and showed on live stream that the doors were locked.
Lock off every door in the Nobu Hotel. Man, even cut everything off. Man bought everything. He's a bitch.
It's stuff like this, antics like this, that are the reason why the cops or whoever was posted up outside Drake's house for days before this concert. Because you have goofy stuff like this going around, and what's crazy is, ever since Top 5 upped the antics about Kendrick Lamar and started talking crazy, that's when we saw Drake actually link up with him in public and take public pictures with him the most. Drake never really acknowledged any of these guys, Akademiks, Adin Ross, Top 5, Oviho Mall, until they started glazing and talking crazy about Drake. Anyways, to all the Ovihos who wanted to say Kendrick couldn't sell the show out, I mean, we're going to play videos of it very shortly, but just for a little bit of proof, here's a screenshot of Ticketmaster showing all the seats were sold out before the show actually started. At the same time, remember the little Oviho party that they wanted to throw outside the venue where they'd all be singing Drake songs and dancing around in Drake merchandise and all that? Yeah, it looks like not enough people signed up because they had to actually cancel the event.
I study rap battles for a living.
Right before the event started, they said, due to logistical constraints, we're going to have to cancel today. I know a few of you are already there. If you're there right now or you're on the way, send pictures and video of y'all vibing together. Start playing with some stuff and then DM it to us. We'll send you guys Oviho hoodies. We're super sorry, but this is out of our control. We hope to see y'all tomorrow at the second GNX show at 7 p.m. by the statue at Gate 5. Meanwhile, the Toronto restaurant that Kendrick mentions in Euphoria, Nuho King, which actually made a Kendrick Lamar special, the fried rice with the dip sauce and the blami. You'll see later, Kendrick fans threw a party at this restaurant after the show, but yeah, they had said that drinks were on the house tonight in celebration of Kendrick Lamar coming to town. But now let's get into the show, Lobbies and Gentlegrams. So here's a little peek at some of the visuals and obviously the crowd, because again, right, they were saying that the show didn't sell out, right? Well, take a look at this crowd, take a look at some of these visuals right here. I thought this clip was super dope as well. This is Kendrick making a little speech to Toronto and going into a acapella version of Swimming Pools. And he makes reference to the fact that the first time he was ever in Toronto was in 2011. And he acknowledges, you know, some of you guys might have been here since 2011. Some of you guys are new to this thing, but you're in for a hell of a time no matter what.
I see Toronto ain't won the playing tonight, man. Section 8, we had this motherfucker cracking. Good Kid, Man City, we came out this motherfucker, y'all was cracking. Damn, Mr. Morale. Now we right here, GNX motherfucker tour, and we gonna turn this motherfucker all the way up, you hear me? A lot of faces, some of y'all go all the way back to 2011, so we're gonna make sure we cater to them, make sure I do my day one some house tonight, make sure we show a whole lot of love. But if you are new to these festivities, sit back and watch, we got some fun. Follow me. I done grew around some people living a life in bottles, granddaddy had the golden glass, that drunk every day in shit paddles, some people like the way it feel, they want to kill themselves, they want to fit it with the popular, that was my problem, I was in the dark, now, looking to make them bounce, that get fucked up, filling up my cup, the crowd mood, changing by the minute, and the record on repeat, took a sip to another sip, it's a rhyme, come on.
And the Alchemist did end up making an appearance at the show. He just didn't perform Meet the Grams though. The show looks dope already, but before we get more into the show, more walkbacks about the whole live stream that Kai Cenat and Drake were going to do. So, of course, Kai Cenat walks it back to say, oh, you know, this is more about the music video for Drake than it is about the live stream. We're not actually doing an official live stream. It's just going to be like a Discord call or something.
Let me go ahead and say something real quick so y'all won't be confused. When Drake and I are doing it, he will call in. He's calling in through the cord. So it won't be in person. We're saving the in-person for another crazier stream. Alright? Okay? So that's gonna be over the call. So this is a music video. It's not an official like stream GNX Drake crazy stream. No, we gotta chat. We have to do it correctly. You feel what I'm saying? So we're making it for, it's more about the people that's submitting it than us. You feel me? So we want y'all to go through the process of seeing the music video. So chat, whenever we do crossover on a live aspect, I will let y'all know though.
Walkbacks on walkbacks. Meanwhile, Kendrick had a full house in Toronto.
I study rap battles for a living.
And fans in the crowd have declared, just like I did as a fellow Canadian, that Kendrick has been the king of Canada since 2013. And on a side note, listen to how beautiful SZA sounds singing over Kendrick's song Love. This is something I said in a past video. I would love to see an official remix of this. Like, she goes crazy with the vocals on this song. She fits it perfectly.
Hey, Drake, if you're watching, it's no hard feelings, brother. If you put me on your ghostwriting team, oh, you might have stood a chance. I don't know. Kendrick been the king of Toronto since 2013. To be honest, Ovi Host is crying. They gotta worry about affidavits right now. But they love me.
And if you're wondering, all right, yeah, Kendrick did, the song Love. He did all these soft songs. Did he do what we came here for? Did he do the diss tracks? Well, Aubrey's and Gentlegrams, take a look at this. Oh, and just the update on the OVO get-together outside of the venue. So they claimed that police were on high alert ever since they announced it, and because of that, they were very quick to shut it down. That's why it actually couldn't go down, but if you take a deeper look, you could see that, unlike the stadium for Kendrick, very few people showed up to the OVO pizza party outside the venue. And this show looked crazy. Look at this like front row view. Of course, Kendrick had to get into the GNX tracks. On a side note, if you guys have been to the show, he's not coming to my city, unfortunately, but drop a comment if he changes up the set list at all. Like if you've seen, clips from one show and then the one that you went to, the set list was different. To me, it kind of seems like he's following the same structure here, which I actually respect a lot more, right? Like when Drake went and performed back-to-back in Philadelphia, he was doing all this crazy talking or whatever. You could see here, Kendrick did not say a word. He let the music speak for itself, right? So much so to the point that the crowd gave him a standing ovation for the King of Canada and begged him to do the song one more time. Here's a little clip of him performing my favorite song off GNX, the biggest banger, Hey Now. If I don't get copyright strike, I'll play it right here. Craziest guest in the crowd? Apparently LeBron was at the show. I don't know if this is real, but hey, look at this. Of course, Kendrick did the mother F the big three, it's just big me as well. Here you could see them begging the King of Canada, King Kung Fu Kenny Lamar, to do Not Like Us one more time. And here's the moment you've been waiting for. They wondered for years, was he going to do it at the Super Bowl? Was he going to do it at his own pop-out? Was he going to pop out to Toronto and do the song? He did the song. And Akademiks, tell me, is that crowd not loud enough for you? Those K-bots, those bots, those robots, they're not loud enough for you? You didn't hear that? Oh, hey, what about this when they're begging the King of Canada to do the song one more time? Here's another angle of it. And here's another angle of them begging the King of Canada to do the song one more time. And then this is what I love. Here come the OV hoes with the excuses. First it was Kendrick couldn't sell the show out. Then when he did, and the crowd went crazy, now we get some more hilarious excuses. So this one guy said, Toronto is one of the biggest cities in North America. Kendrick and SZA, key word there, SZA, having a show with its moment there isn't anything special. It's expected. Check the population of the city, and of course you'll have your rebellion flock on the other side too. We really gassed the expected, as if Drake wouldn't run a whole month across California cities. Let the show run, have the moment, keep it clean, soft things. Yeah, first it was the seats didn't sell out, then it was the crowds weren't loud enough. Now it's, the city is so big, of course the crowd was going to be loud, of course the opposition was going to come out and pop out for the King of Canada, King Kung Fu Kenny. Yeah, the opposition definitely popped out, and they were chanting OV Ho as Kendrick concluded his performance. Here come more OV hoes with some more, I don't even know if you want to call this slander. It's not really slander. It's pretty, safety protocol, standard protocol here. But Akademiks TV, the propaganda account, again, take this with a grain of salt. It could be fake news. But they tweeted out after the show saying, Kendrick Lamar has left Canada with a 25-car police escort and is on a flight to New York to sleep for his own safety after performing Not Like Us. He will fly back in from New York to Toronto to perform with SZA tomorrow and will immediately evacuate the country after performing. Yeah, that'd probably be smart, right? When you have Drake's goons, top 5, banging on the hotel doors trying to speak to Kendrick, right? Maybe it'd be smarter to take a jet to New York, sleep in your own house, and then fly back the next day when it's only about an hour flight to not risk your own safety. I think that would be pretty intelligent protocol there. Apparently, there were some crazy security measures at the concert as well. This woman who lives close to the stadium was saying there was like tons of paramedics and police escorts outside the venue. Like, think about the type of moment that this is, right? After this beef, Kendrick is going to Drake's hometown. This isn't like the Meek Mill beef. This is on a whole other elevated level, right? He's going to this city. Already Drake's goons are knocking at his door, and he's about to perform not one diss track, not 2 diss tracks, but multiple diss tracks back to back in a 50,000 plus person stadium, multiple nights in a row. This moment is absolutely insane.
Okay guys, if you're from Toronto, you know that Kendrick and SZA are performing tonight, and I live right next to the stadium, and I'm going to show you what I see here, because I didn't even see this during the Taylor Swift concert. Like, for the entire 6 nights, I didn't see this, but there's literally, like, I counted 3, there might be more, 3 paramedic vans, like, parked right outside the stadium. So 1 second. So that is one of them, and then right here you're gonna see another one. I'm trying to zoom in here, and you can make out the word ambulance. And then if you look down the road there's like a line of, I don't know if there's security or cops or what they are, but they're just standing on the street in this line formation. I don't know why. And like, just to show you, this is the stadium, the Rogers Center here in Toronto. And so like, that's outside my window, like the cop cars, and that's one of the paramedics that I showed you. And all these vans are Kendrick's like equipment and whatever, and Taylor had the exact same amount. Like, the full parking lot was like full of these huge trucks there. But I just think having the paramedics is super sus, and having that line of like security or cops or whatever they were is also very weird.
But there was nothing dangerous that went down except for the crowd of people violently chanting that Kendrick performed Not Like Us one more time. And Kendrick and SZA seem to be all smiles throughout the whole show.
Make some noise for SZA tonight, Toronto. We love this city. This is a special one tonight. We had a good mother time. Do you agree? I said, Toronto, we had a good mother time tonight. Do you agree? We rock our morning show. We rock our morning show.
I see the sign that says SZA. Your middle name is my first.
And the crowd was definitely loud. Meanwhile, Drake released a song in a Toronto accent where he rapped, "I'm in Barrie, Muskoka, and Brampton, Crotty, F Hollywood and the Hamptons." Of course, you know, insinuating F the West Coast, essentially. Apparently, because of the hype of Night 1, Night 2 has already sold out. And I mean, you could look at this crowd for yourself, right? Does this look like it's a stadium full of bots? On a side note, look how crazy the intro is to this show. Like, the production here is next level. They were saying that Kendrick's Toronto show was the loudest crowd of the GNX tour so far. Look how loud they were when he came out to do Euphoria. And of course, the OV hoes, when the show ended, were very angry outside.
Yo, bro. Why are you here? Why are you here?
I'm here to prove that hometown Drizzy, Drake, Champagne, Poppy 6 got the GOAT. Hey, Kendrick ain't coming to my city. Kendrick coming to our city and doing this. You can't.
Are you from Toronto? Are you from Toronto or no?
I should be looking there.
If you're from Toronto, you know what Drake has done for the city. Drake has put on the city more than Kendrick's ever done anything for Compton his entire life. That's how Drake works.
But that didn't stop Kendrick fans from going and celebrating at New Hope King of all places, yelling and chanting "Not Like Us" because Kendrick didn't do it one more time like they were chanting in the stadium. Again, he's the king of Canada, man. What can I tell you? What a great video to make. I love things like this. This is hip-hop history, lawbreeze and gentlegrams. All right, ladies and gentlemans, lawbreeze and gentlegrams. This is the victory lap of a lifetime. I can't wait to see what Kendrick has up his sleeve next. Again, there's a second night of the GNX show in Toronto as well. So stay tuned if there's anything crazy that goes on tomorrow night 2 for night 2. And good night to you. And let me know what you think. And I will catch you in the next one.
I study rap battles for a living.